Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first of our Christmas Universe Christmas specials for 2025. And this year, I decided to do a bit of a three-parter this time around because I feel that three parts would be, because there's obviously quite a bit of stuff I wanted to sort of discuss and share and stuff. So we're going to start things off by talking about the recent Channel 4 comedy drama that came out over Christmas this year, which is Finding Father Christmas. This is I guess, like I said, a new thing for Christmas this year. It went out on Christmas Eve. And I have to say, I feel that, I mean, I kind of went into this obviously because of the fact that there's always that debate for many years from a lot of, obviously, families tend to debate on this about whether Santa Claus is real. This has been a long debate that's been happening in many family households for a very long time. And I feel that this comedy drama is essentially the maker's response to that in a way, because they obviously have probably heard it quite a few times from their family members saying, oh, he's not real. Why are you wasting your time? And they probably sat down and thought, okay, we're going to make this comedy drama called Finding Father Christmas that's going to finally solve this puzzle once and for all. And then they're finally going to stop asking me say that, oh, he's not real. We're going to finally clarify some things. Lo and behold, I like to feel like that those who like to not believe in Santa are going to leave the people who do believe in him alone after watching this, because even though, yes, there's some funny parts, trust me, there is some funny parts to this, and obviously because it's a comedy drama, of course there's going to be some funny parts, like the whole Stephen Fry moments and many other moments that are very very funny in the show. But obviously, the purpose of this comedy drama was to basically make the non-believers essentially finally accept people do believe in Santa. I feel that they did a really good job on that. I feel they, especially with the Len Rush. I mean, Lenny Rush. He's done very well for himself since the comedy on the BBC, which I never really properly got a chance to. I mean, I mean, a lot of people that obviously talk very highly about him do this comedy drama. Definitely very fit. It was really good to see him, like, because he definitely knows how to act as a child, because because of the fact that he's been seen as for so long. He kind of fits that role very perfectly, and the fact that he's trying to basically continue something that he did with his mom when believing in Father Christ, for Santa Claus and everything, and then obviously his dad was trying to get him to stop believing in it because of the fact that, well, he's lost his wife. He's lost not just his son's mom, but his wife essentially, and he didn't want to accept that he believes in Santa Claus, and he's going to fight to keep. Finding Father Christmas was a lot of fun. It really was. It was a very joyful comedy drama where you have, like I said, you have Len Rush's character trying to search for answers, trying to prove to his dad that, look, Santa Claus is real. It is happening. I'm going to make you believe in it. And the fact that he was going to lengths to make sure that he could get the truth was just amazing. And the fact that he went to Stephen Fry. He found an image with some celebrities in there, went to go and ask them about questions about Santa to try and do some form of like his own detective work, which was really like amazing how he came up with that whole concept. He even snuck into a building as a security guard, even though it turned out tricked people into believing he was a security guard. And then, of course, he met a guy who's actually played by, well, technically he's played by Greg Davis, who you may remember from Taskmaster. So obviously he's been doing that lately. He used to do In-Betweeners, but obviously he's doing that. He does look great as Santa Claus, Greg Davis, doesn't he? I know some people tend to kind of say that he's a very serious guy. He's very grumpy at times, but he can put up the jolly face. This being seen as like a very serious act, even though he is labeled as a comedian. Yeah, it's very bizarre, isn't it, to see a comedian who always looks serious every time he's on screen, but he actually does pretty well as Santa Claus, despite that, despite being typoed under this idea of him being a serious guy. all the time. Like I said, I find him Father Christmas. I love the fact that we've got James Bucket in here, which is also kind of coincidental because, well, he's going to be returning to the In-Betweeners this time next year. So knowledge being a thing now that, the In-Betweeners is coming back, does that open the door for an In-Betweeners Christmas special this time next year? I think it does. I think there's a good shot that we might see In-Betweeners potentially get a new Christmas, well, hopefully on its way in 2026, hopefully. I'll be interested to see what they do if they do come across the Christmas special. I think they will. I think we're going to end up seeing an In-Betweeners Christmas special, so we will probably be seeing a lot more of James Beckett again on our screens, and specifically on Channel 4 over the next few years, because I feel like we're going to see Christmas specials from In-Betweeners now that the In-Betweeners is returning. I have a good feeling they're going to try and get them on every Christmas going forward from next year onwards. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I feel like we're going to see yearly In-Betweener specials now that he's back on Channel 4 a lot more often now. Hopefully, we're going to see a lot in Christmases to come. Like I said, I love Finding Father Christmas. It was such a great. Even though there was some very odd moments, it was still fun to watch, wasn't it? Very, very fun indeed. And I'm looking forward, like I said, I'm looking forward to more fun stuff like this on Channel 4 for their next comedy drama for Christmas, or their animations plans are going to be for the next year. I mean, we haven't had an animation since Mog's Christmas. Maybe we might see a new one next year, considering it has been a couple of years since, well, I think it was 2022 was the last one. So we might see a new I mean, who knows? Maybe we'll see a new animation next Christmas. The fact that they've left it maybe at least 2 or 3 years now. So maybe we're going to see a new one next Christmas, considering they haven't done one for a couple of times. But we'll see what Channel 4 does. But either way, I would love to hear your thoughts about Finding Father Christmas in the conversation below. There'll be a link to the Channel 4 streaming service if you want to check out Finding Father Christmas through the Channel 4, to watch it through Channel 4's streaming service, which is the way you can catch it at the moment until they make it available for you to buy on digital sites like iTunes, etc., which I'm sure they will over the coming days, and well, particularly Apple TV. I'm sure they'll make it available there in the next few days. Finding Father Christmas is a lot of fun. Very, very fun, and definitely, I probably would see myself watching it again, potentially, because it's definitely got some. That is my thoughts on Finding Father Christmas, the new Christmas comedy drama from Channel 4 has been introduced to us to finally find the answers to Father Christmas, aka Santa Claus. And I'm be interested to see if any more people believe in him now that comedy drama exists. Thanks for watching, and I am going to be sharing my thoughts on the Masked Singer Christmas special as our next Christmas universe, because I love the Masked Singer, and I thought I would share my sort of thoughts on this year's. I will see you very shortly for that.